Hi there, welcome to our practice for this video. Is going to be a combination of a lot of the other standing balances that we've been working on in the other videos, and I've called it Balance Flow with Grace. So we're going to move between the balances, and we're going to begin by opening up the hips a little bit and the outer thighs and the hamstrings. So you're going to come into a position where I'm just going to move back a little bit because I want my heels to be on the mat. And if you want to elevate your hips up on a cushion or your blanket, you can do that. And for this practice, you're going to need a strap, some of you, and a brick. Okay. So from here, just finding somewhere to hold on your legs, and you can put some more cushions beneath your legs so that your legs can really drop down and your hips can relax. Finding somewhere to hold, and then just lengthening through your spine, and as you exhale, folding in. And you might be practically upright. It is a beginner class, so you may not fold forwards to the same depth as I do, but then I don't fold forwards to the same depth as a lot of other people. So, you know, we're all working with our body as it is on each and every time we come onto our mat. So closing your eyes, using maybe the gentle weight moving down through your legs from your arms as well, to encourage your legs to drop down and relax. And just starting to notice what you can feel in your physical body. So it might be in your hips, your outer thighs, you might be feeling the broadening across the back of your pelvis and your sacral area, or across your upper back, any or all of those things or more. And see if you can meet that resistance, if that's how it feels in any of those areas, with the quality of softness. How much can you soften and let go around those areas that are resisting letting go? And then notice if you've any thoughts that are resistive to letting your mind quieten down gradually. Any thought patterns, any stories that are still running through your mind. See if you can distance yourself from those. Let them be more and more in the background so that you can let your focus be on what you can feel and on your breath. So you're going to turn your awareness more towards your breath now. Noticing the quality again now of your breath. And seeing if you can just let every couple of breaths, let them get a little bit deeper than the last one. Making your exhalation the same length as your inhalation. So maybe just noticing your inhalation a 3 or a 4 or a 5 second count. And can you make your exhalation the same length? Just take another 2 or 3 breaths. And then slowly come up, and you're going to straighten your right leg, bring your left foot into the inside of your right thigh. So it's a little bit like tree pose but sat down. Squeeze this left knee, and you can always, I've got my cushion behind me at the moment to hold over my hips, but You can always use another cushion underneath this left knee, and you can also use your strap around the ball of your right foot to keep your spine long. So you're going to press, either pull on your strap or press into your fingertips, slide your sit bones, your tailbone back, big breath in, really lengthen your spine, and then just start to tip yourself forward. So remember, it's right at the beginning of your practice. It's not going to be your deepest forward fold. You might be practically still sat upright, but you're still going to get the stretch in your outer hip on this left side, and in the inner thigh, in the inner groin, and you're also going to get the lengthening of your hamstrings on this right leg. And then inhale, come up. And you're just going to tuck your right ankle in front of your left. And then inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, bring your right hand down and just lean to the right. Really plug your left hip down and stretch your left fingertips away from that left hip. See if you can also maybe revolve your chest a little bit towards the ceiling. And then inhale, come up, and exhale. Switch, take your left hand to the left, anchor your right hip down, really reach your right fingertips away from your right hip, and maybe even turn your chest up a little bit towards the ceiling. And then inhale, come up, and this time it's your left leg that extends and your right foot that comes in. Squeeze your knees. If you're trying to close your knee more, support that knee if you need to. Strap around your left foot if you need that. And then really get your left leg engaged. Flex your toes towards your face as you squeeze this right knee. Lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, tipping yourself forwards and finding a place where you feel supported and you feel grounded through your base, so that you can let your body feel safe to drape your torso forwards, even if that's only excuse me, an inch or so. And if you can hear quite a lot of noise in the background, I do apologise for that. I've got the fire on. It's really windy and it's absolutely chucking it down, but then it keeps going sunny and then rainy, and we're kind of getting everything today. And then inhale, come up. Just bring your left ankle in front of your right. Inhale, reach your arms up, and as you exhale, twist to the right. Again, anchor your hips down, lengthen your spine each time you breathe in, and see if you can hardly use your hands and make the twist happen from your core. This is what we've been practicing with the other twisting balances as well. And then inhale, sweep both arms up, and exhale across to the other side. Again, the twist happening from the right side of your waist and your lower belly. You're trying to keep your hips plugged down. You're sliding your shoulder blades down towards the middle of your back. Lengthening your spine with each breath in, and finding a little bit more depth in your twist with each breath out. And then inhale, come back up, and exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. And then from here, you're just going to come onto all fours. This is where you might need your brick in a moment, so just have your brick to hand. We're just going to do a few cow and cat movements through your spine first. So really press your fingers into the floor. Grip with your fingers, wrap your biceps in and your triceps back, hug your arm bones in. And then as you inhale, let your tailbone and your sit bones lift, draw your heart forwards, and then as you exhale, push the floor away, pull your ribs down, your pelvic points up, lift your navel and round your spine. Inhale twice more. And you can always pause and do a few more of any of these movements. One more. And exhale. And then you're going to walk your hands back, grab your brick, and you're going to extend your right leg out to the right and come onto your heel. So you can have your brick to the inside of your right knee, and you're going to turn your hips so that they're facing the top of your mat, but then you're going to try and take the back bend out of it a little bit if you can. And then bring your fingertips onto your brick. Reach your left arm up first, that'll be a better idea. And then as you exhale, start to tip and bring your fingertips onto your brick and arc this left arm across to the right. So you're rooting down through your left knee and reaching your left fingers away from your knee. Just take a couple of breaths there. Keep trying to lengthen your tailbone down so you're not bringing too much of a back bend into it. And then you're sliding your shoulders back, plugging them in. And then inhale, come back up. Bring your brick with you and switch sides with your brick. Lift your right arm up, big breath in, and then exhale, tip across to the left. So you may find that you can lower the height of your brick. As long as you can feel that lengthening and opening through the right side of your waist and your torso, you're in exactly the right place. And then inhale, come back up, and exhale, bring yourself back to your all fours position. And then again, inhale, lift your sit bones, draw your chest forwards. Exhale, round. So mobilizing the spine, opening up into the inner thighs, really stretching out the side, body, torso, waist, ribs. And from here, walking your hands back. I'm just going to shift a little bit over to here and extending your left leg out to the left. Bring your brick and then inhale, reach your right arm up. And exhale, slide down, find your brick, and then keep pushing into your right knee as you reach your right fingertips over to the left. Keep drawing your tailbone down towards the floor and really plugging your arm bones into your shoulders. So take another breath or two. And then inhale, bring that brick up, bring it to the outside of your right thigh. Inhale, reach your left arm up, draw your tailbone down, and exhale, arcing this left arm over. So you may find that you don't need quite as much height on this side, but you're rolling your shoulders back, you're lengthening your tailbone, plugging your arms into your shoulder sockets and reaching your left fingertips across to the right. And then inhale, come up, just set your brick to the side and you're going to come into downward facing dog. So walk your hands a little bit further forwards, curl your toes under, have your brick up towards the corner of your mat. And then push down into your hands, really pull your belly up, hover your knees, and then start to draw your hips up and back by pushing your arms forwards. So you've got these dual actions of energy, one pulling forwards, one pulling back. Keep your knees bent and then look back at your feet so you know that your head is nice and relaxed. Get that same alignment through your arms as you had on all fours, and then keep lifting your tailbone as you straighten your legs. And this might be where you stay. What we're looking for is the length through the spine and the sides of the body. Hamstrings are getting a nice stretch. If you've got space to start to drop your heels towards the floor, but without rounding your spine, you're trying to keep your tailbone lifted. And then you can stay still in your downward facing dog, or you can have a little sort of sway through your hips and a little movement. I like swiveling my heels, that's one of my favourites. And you can always come down onto your knees if it gets too much in your wrists, but just be mindful that if it is getting too much in your wrist, you need to push your hips back more so that the weight isn't over your wrists. And then from here, you're going to lift your heels, big breath in, and you're going to tiptoe your feet towards the front of your mat. And then once you get there, walk your feet a little bit further forwards, and you're going to bend your knees and fold over your legs. So this is going to be, we're going to do a couple of modified sun salutations to get us nice and warm for the standing balances. And whenever you come into the forward fold, unless you know that you can straighten your legs without pulling on your lower back, you're going to keep your knees bent. And then when we do straighten our legs, you're going to bring your hands onto your shins. Big breath in, and then exhale, bend your knees and fold it. Just practice that one more time. Inhale, straighten your legs, bring your hands onto your shins, draw your heart forwards, and then exhale, fold in. And then we're going to roll all the way up to stand. Sweep the arms up, join the palms if it's okay, your shoulders, and exhale, bring your hands to your heart. So we're going to go back down the way we came up. Inhale, reach your arms up, and then exhale, you're going to bend your knees as you fold in. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins, and then plant your hands and step back and lower your knees to the floor, and then lower all the way down. Untuck your toes, push the tops of your feet into the floor. Inhale, little baby cobra. Exhale, back onto all fours. Curl your toes under. Inhale, downward facing dog. So you can always skip the down dog and just come back to the front of your mat. But I encourage you to try with your down dog. Such a beautiful pose when you get used to it. It's well worth persevering. And then lifting your heels, and again tiptoe your feet towards the front of your mat. Inhale, hands on your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, fold in. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And exhale, hands to your heart. And again, inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, bend your knees as you tip forwards, keep the length in your spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, one foot, then the other. Lower your knees down, come all the way down onto your belly. Push into your feet to activate your legs, hug your elbows in. Inhale, come up. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Good. Just take a few moments in your downward facing dog. So you can do as many of those little salutations. We're just going to do one more until you feel really nice and warm, or if you've got a little bit more time, lift your heels, tiptoe your feet forwards. Inhale, straightening your legs, drawing your chest forwards. Exhale, bend your knees, fold over your legs. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, out and up, and exhale, bend your knees, keep your spine long. Inhale, hands onto your shins. And exhale, plant your hands, step one foot back and the other foot back. So you're just in your plank pose for a really brief moment, just gradually building that strength in the upper body. Inhaling into your little cobra and exhaling onto all fours. You can take a modified down dog, so you can be in poppy pose, or picking your hips up and just finding your alignment in your downward facing dog. And then pick up your heels. Again, last time now, you're going to tiptoe your way forwards. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, hands on your shins. Exhale, bend your knees, fold down. And then inhale, roll all the way up. That wasn't about to be not a very good demonstration of that. And then from here, we're going to come into our standing balances. So we're going to balance on the right leg first. I'm going to quickly show you the version which is a little bit stronger using your strap. So you don't need it all the way through, but when I keep the knee bent, if you want to pick the foot up with your strap and do that version, and then that version, and then this version, then you use your strap instead. But I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to turn this way. You can stay where you are, but I'm going to turn this way so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to balance on my right leg first. So you're going to bend your knees, drop the weight into your right foot, grip with your toes. And then from here, as you straighten this right leg fully or keep a little bend in the knee, use your outer hips. And then I'm going to pick up my left leg and I'm going to hold underneath my thigh. Now it's quite tempting to lean back, but I want you to pull, I want you to keep upright, but I want you to pull your ribs down. So you're using your core. And then straighten that leg. And then re-bend your knee. Bring your right hand to your hip and your left hand to your inner thigh and press that leg out to the left. These are where you can be using your strap to do everything with a straight leg. And then bring that knee back in. Take your opposite hand to that knee and reach your left hand back. So you're gazing at the floor and just seeing if you can keep as calm as you can. And then slowly lower down. Just have a moment here. Going to carry on balancing on this right leg. You're going to grip the mat again and you're going to start to tip forwards and you're going to pick up this left leg. So really wrap and squeeze your right outer hip. Stretch your left leg back and then draw your heart down so your torso is like a counter pose for your leg. And then you're going to reach your fingertips down onto your brick. You can have a little bend in this knee, bring your left hand onto your hip, and you're going to open this hip up into your half moon pose. Pushing through that left heel. Stacking your hips. So if you fall out of the balance, it's fine. Just come back in, it's all building strength. And then slowly lower your left leg down. Bend your knees, have a little bit of a break. And then slowly roll all the way up. So we're still on the right leg. This right leg's going to, get a lot of work. So really commit. Bring your hands onto your hips, come onto the ball of your left foot, and then open this hip up. So we're coming into tree pose. And then from here, either keep your foot on the floor, your heel pressing into your ankle, or bring your left foot onto your right calf. And really push them into one another, and maybe bring your hands together in front of your heart. So like me, I'm near to a wall, so if you feel like your balance is going to really be challenging for you, you can just gently touching the wall so that you can stay in the pose. And then slowly release. Now, you're going to bend this right knee, and you're going to take your left thigh over the top of your right leg for eagle pose. and hook your left arm underneath your right, or just keep your hands at your heart. You're going to squeeze your outer hips, you're going to squeeze your arms together and maybe hover that left foot just for a moment. So you can keep putting it down and picking it up again. Just finding that point of balance. And then slowly unravel. Take your feet hip width apart for Tadasana. And just allow this right leg to release. Let yourself feel all the heat and all the circulation in that right leg. And now we're going to switch to the other side. So I'm going to I'm just going to turn to face you this time, just so you see it from a different perspective. But you're going to have your brick on the left hand side of your left little toe for this side. And then from here, really ground into your left foot. Keep your hands on your hip points, use this out of that hip, pick up your right leg. And then hold, make a basket for this thigh by interlacing your fingers. Pull your ribs down and then start to push this right heel forwards and straighten your leg. So this is when you can have the strap around the ball of this right foot and be holding onto the strap. And then if you've got the leg straight, you're just going to take it out to the side, or you're going to re-bend your knee and open that right knee out to the side. And then slowly bring it back, switch hands and come into your revolved hand to leg pose as we're doing. So you don't have to turn and look to the side or look back. Just see how your balance is and just take your gaze to where it's challenging but you can still maintain the balance. And then slowly come back and have a little shake out. And you're still going to be balancing on your left leg, but now, I'm just going to move this so I don't touch the wall behind me. You're going to have your hands at your heart and you're going to start to tip forwards and let this right leg come off the floor. Push your heel back, so warrior 3, like we did a few, part of our series in balancing. Push the right heel back, draw your chest forwards, and then you're going to bring your left hand onto your brick and your right hand onto your hip, and you're going to roll this hip open into your half moon pose. Again, really pushing through that right heel. Grip with your toes. And then slowly come back. Bring your right foot down. Have a little relax, lengthening through your spine. And then slowly roll all the way back up. I'm going to stand back now, but you're just going to stay where you are when you're mat. So we're coming into tree pose, hands on your hips. Bring your right heel up. Really grip through your left toes and curl that foot down, and then start to swivel on the ball of your foot and open up your hip. So you can keep your heel at your ankle, or you can bring your foot to the inside of your calf or your shin. And then really start to push your legs into one another, or your foot on your leg, and then bring your palms together and really push your palms together as well. And it's okay to wobble. Use the wall if you need to. Some days you can balance without the wall, and other times you need the wall. And then slowly release. And you're going to bend your left knee, and you're going to take your right thigh over. Bring your toes to the floor while you get your arms, and you're going to take your right arm under. Pull your ribs down. And then from here, squeeze your legs together, squeeze your outer hips together, squeeze your arms together, and maybe you can just play with picking up this right foot, putting it back down, finding your balance again, picking it back up. And you're going to feel a lot of work going on in this standing leg. You're doing so much work. You can put it down when you need to. And then slowly unravel and come back to Tadasana. Whew, you made it. And then if you want to do a few little hip circles with your feet back wider like this, going in that opposite direction. And then you're going to slowly make your way down onto the floor. Just move that out of the way. And then from here, you're going to bring your right leg over your left to the side. If you want to do a little bit less, have it to the inside of your foot. And then right fingertips behind, inhale, lift your left arm up, reach it forwards and just hug this right thigh in towards you. And again, like we did with the twist at the beginning, each time you breathe in, you're lengthening your spine, and as you breathe out, you're twisting from your inner body. So it's from your left side of your core, really kind of cinching in around the waist and releasing yourself into the twist. And then come back. You're going to slide your hands back, draw this left foot up and come into a figure 4 position to stretch the outer hips. So you can walk your foot in, or you can walk your hands in, or both, and then you're just lifting your chest and you're coming to a place where you can feel the stretch. And you're being mindful that you're not letting this right knee come towards you. You're keeping your right knee, your hip pressing forwards and down. So there's equal weight moving down through your pelvis. And then slowly re-straighten that left leg and switch. Take your left foot either to the inside or the outside of your right leg. Left fingertips behind, inhale, reach your arm up. Exhale, reach forwards and wrap. Get yourself upright again, push into the floor, keep your right leg active. And then each time you inhale, you're sliding your left shoulder down your back, you're lifting and lengthening through your spine. And then as you exhale, you're cinching around your waist and you're seeing if you can twist using your core muscles. And then inhale, turn back to the center, walk your hands back, slide your right foot up and bring your left ankle on top of your thigh for this figure 4 position. And then walking yourself in to whatever is your depth. So I'm a bit tighter, definitely on this side. So you're flexing your foot to protect your knee, you're squeezing your knees if you're trying to bend your leg more. And you're lifting your chest, lifting out of your lower back. Moving this left hip forwards and down. And as long as you can feel a stretch in this outer left thigh and hip, then you're exactly where you need to be. And then walking your hands back again, sliding your legs out. And then you're going to bend both knees, reach your arms forwards, and you're going to slowly roll down onto your back. You're going to take your your feet wide. And then just start to drop your knees side to side. Take your arms over the crown of your head. You can have your elbows bent, that's fine. But see if you can let your arms rest on the floor. Stretching out the legs, the front of the legs now. So the next time your knees drop to the right, just pause there. You can stay there, or if you want to do a little bit more, you can take your right foot on top of your left thigh. You can hold your left wrist with your right hand and just give that left arm a little bit of a tug so that you get more stretch in the upper part of the side of your body. And you're using your right foot Or you can do the same action without having your foot on top. You're moving your thighs and your knees away from you. So your lower back will not be on the floor, and there'll be a little bit of an arch in your lower back, but you're concentrating on stretching your thighs in front of the quadriceps around that area. And then inhale, press your lower back into the floor to come up. Feet wide, knees wide, and then drop both knees to the left. Stay in that position or bring your left foot on top of your right thigh and hold your right wrist with your left hand. Little tug. And really stretch your thighs away from you. So this is I love this stretch. You can really feel it where your psoas is. Into your lower vertebrae, around the outside of your hip, into your groin and your inner thigh. And then press your lower back into the floor to come up. Undo your legs. And if you feel anything in your lower back that you want to allow, give the chance for it to release before you straighten your legs, you can just let your knees knock together, or stretch out your legs and bring yourself into your final pose, your resting pose. Take up lots of space. And from the minute that we get up, we're resisting gravity, everything that we do. And when you do the standing balances, you're really having to do that. It's a lot more concentrated, a lot more intense. So now, do the opposite. Let go of any resistance to gravity. Just let the whole of your body drop down. And cultivate a deep, deep sense of surrender and of receptivity to whatever your practice has offered you and wherever your Shavasana may take you. And I encourage you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you've got. And then when you're ready to come out, start to wriggle out your fingers and your toes. Maybe a big stretch. And then draw your knees in, all onto your right side. Just take a few breaths here. When you're ready, bring yourself back up. So, I hope you enjoyed that practice. I know it will have been challenging, but just keep going with it and see if whatever the benefits that you've reaped, whether that feels as though it's a strengthening or just an empowerment of being able to balance, or whether you just feel as though your energy is really moving around your body nicely. Take that with you off your mat and into your day or into your evening, and I will see you soon.